And here we can see that now we have a very clean list, only IP addresses. Hey everyone, welcome back to our Nmap basics series. In the last video we walked through some Nmap commands and ran our first simple scans to see open ports. If you haven't watched that yet, pause here and check it out. I will put the link in the description. So today we are getting into the first step of any large-scale network audit, which is host discovery. Specifically, how to quickly find which machines are online using Nmap's ping scan, which is the -SN option. A quick refresher here. A port scan probes each host for open services, which is slow and noisy. A ping scan just asks, "Are you there?" It is lightning fast, so let's see how it works. So, what is a ping scan? A ping scan, or Nmap's -SN flag, performs host discovery without scanning any ports. So why to use it? We use it to identify live hosts before burning time on port scanning hundreds of IPs. Ideal for large subnets, find the needless active devices before deeper haystack scans. So let's compare with full scan. So here we can, by the way, I got this topology here. Here is our Kali Linux. Here I got a Windows machine. These machines are metasploitable. And I got this PC from EVNG. So I got this machine, this Kali machine. And I have this SSH to it. So let's put that away. So first command, we can test the normal command. So nmap 10.1.1.0.24, which is, this command is ICMP plus TCP SYN plus UDP probes on all ports. And this will take some time. So it took 40 seconds. So now we can use the SN flag. So it is just the same. So let's nmap here SN and do the same 0 and 24. Something like that. And this took just 3 seconds. So it only pings and lightweight TCP probes, no service enumeration. So now let's look at a real world use case. In a corporate network of 5,000 IPs, you might only have a couple hundred live hosts at any given time. So running the -SN flag first saves you hours and reduces noise on the network. So let's run that command again. Nmap first pings each address, prints only the ones that respond. So here we can see host is up. Here host is up. It prints only hosts that are up. So notice that the near instantaneous output compared to the port scan. We can do the same with only one host. So you can do this, for example, let's take 5. So directly, it just 15, so 0.15 second. So great for quickly checking one machine, maybe a gateway or printer without scanning ports. You can also do an IP range scan. So for example, we can take 5 and let's take 1 to 10, something like that. And you can see it has found these up hosts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 6 hosts are up in that range. So you can specify any contagious range, which is handy if you know devices only sit in a certain part of the subnet. If you have got an IP list, so you can scan them. For example, let's create a file called targets. So touch targets .txt, and let's open that with nano. So here we have a text file which is empty. So let's grab some IPs I have here, copy and paste inside that. So paste anyway. So these are our machines, which we know they are active, and these IPs I have only created just to test. So Ctrl O to save and Ctrl X to exit. And then we can use this command here. So nmap-sn-il and our file. Press enter and it will do the job. So the IL, what is the IL? The IL, or the -IL option and in Nmap, allows you to import a list of target IPs or host names from a file instead of manually typing multiple targets. You can specify them in a file, like our file here, targets.txt, and scan them all at once. So, but the target.txt file should contain one IP per line. Cat targets. You can see one IP per line. So we can combine the -sn with the -il to feed in dozens or hundreds of specific targets from a file. So now let's compare speed. We can run command the nmap-ss, so this command here. So let's run this command and see how much time it should take. So how does the -ss work? So Nmap sends a TCP SYN packet like a starting handshake. If the target replies with SYN-ACK, the port is open. If it replies with RST or reset flag, the port is closed. So Nmap never completes the handshake, so it avoids logging in some cases. Okay, it took 37 seconds. So let's do the same, but only with the SN. As you can see here, 37 seconds, 5 seconds. So it is a very big difference. So we have 3 different probes used by the SN flag, or the host discovery mode. First, the ICMP echo request, which is the standard ping. If the host replies, it is marked as up. The other one is TCP-ACK to port 80. If ICMP is blocked, this can still trigger a response from the host, like a TCP reset, showing it's alive. And the last one is TCP SYN on port 443, another fallback method to check host availability. So yes, it is the -sn doing all of this. The confusion comes because the SYN packet used here isn't part of a full SYN scan, the SS. Instead, it is just a SYN probe to see if the host responds, not to enumerate open ports. So now, real-world limitations. So firewalls and filters often block ping. Many modern endpoints simply drop ICMP packets. Result, host down, which is false negatives. So let's demonstrate that. So we can ping Windows, a Windows machine, with deactivated firewall. And pings should be successful. So here, in our topology, we have this machine, which is a Windows machine. So let's open that. And here we can see this is Windows. So let's ping the 10.1.1.5, and we can see that the ping is refused, and that because the Windows firewall is active. So let's go back there and deactivate the firewall. So firewall. Let's check here. And can turn off, turn off, and click OK. And we should directly see that the ping is going. So now we know that if the firewall on Windows is active, the ping should fail. And if the firewall is not active, the ping should be successful. But let's reactivate the firewall and see how the SN or the Nmap-SN, so Nmap-SN and 10.1.1.5. So now we know that the firewall is active, and we still have host is up. So Nmap-SN can communicate or check that the host is up even if the firewall is active. How is that? On a Windows 10 machine with the firewall enabled, ICMP echo requests normal ping are often blocked by default. However, when you run Nmap-SN, it doesn't rely only on ECMP or ICMP. It also sends TCP-based props. For example, TCP-ACK to port 80 and TCP-SYN to port 443. Even if ICMP is blocked, these TCP props can trigger a response. So let's do that again. So ping 10.1.1.5, no response. But if we run the Nmap-SN, it shows us that the host is up and running. So like a TCP reset packet from the target, and that's enough for Nmap to determine the host is up. So now let's look at saving Nmap-SN scan results. Why we need to save the output? So before jumping into the next steps like port scanning, it is helpful to keep a record of the host that responded during your -SN scan. This way you can review later, use the output as input for other scans, share it with your team, feed it into scripts or automation tools. So Nmap supports multiple output formats. So let's look at some of them and how you use them with the -SN. So first, save normal output. So we have this command here. So with the -on and the ping results. So we do the Nmap-SN on this subnet and we write the result into this file. So press enter once here. And we can do ls here, and we can see that we have ping results text. So let's cat ping results, and we have the same result in a file, which is, so the -on option in Nmap saves the scan output in a normal human readable format. So what if we would need a file that is a machine readable format? So in that case, we need to use the OG. Or use the grep, for example, grep tool. So we have another command here. So you can use the OG and it will save it to the grep results.txt. And if we do ls, so we can see that we have grep results.txt. And this is designed to be easy to parse with tools like grep. Each line includes key fields, and when you have a text file generated with the OG flag, you can then use grep. Or, for example, so we can use this command here to grep the result. So let's check what is in this file. And you can use that to show. So we use grep on that file to show only the IP addresses. So only IP addresses, not grep command is cleaning these lines here. For example, we can grep only IP addresses if we want. So we have another command here, which is this one. Let's apply it. So this will use grep to grep IP addresses from this and send it into these commands and create a new host, so live hosts.txt. So let's run that command, and let's take ls here and see that we have a new file. So let's cut that file and live hosts, and here we can see that now we have a very clean list, only IP addresses. So these commands are very useful to have a clean list of only live IP addresses. So now let's review what we have seen. So the -sn only does host discovery, ICMP plus TCP probes. So it is fast, low noise, but can miss filtered hosts. Always follow up when in doubt. So lastly, an ethical reminder. Always have explicit permission before scanning networks. Unauthorized scanning can be illegal. So this video is done here. So thank you for watching and see you in the next video.